because you never die, you live on forever, and you will inevitably figure this out.
Well, it goes back into, if you were to sum up all of this,
Yeah.
the creation of things into one word, it would be experience. Because you can't have experience in existence, or experience without existence, existence without experience. So that nothing could control or entrap your soul unless you believe it to be so.
When you, like I stated before, when you leave your body, you are not, it's not a mystical, airy fairy thing. That's one of the biggest things that shocked the hell out of me when I left my body, and I continue to do it.
And then when you experience it and you realize that your soul, you're out of your body, and you can see your physical body on the bed as well, and you realize that you never die, it's impossible at that point to control you in the way that people are being controlled now.
And many people haven't been here many times. This was the universe, the construct that was created to experience that, which we're not the only one of its kind in that way. You will begin to exit your body and you will leave. And when you exit your body, you will stand up. And when you stand up, you'll look back, you look at your bed and you'll see your body sleeping on the bed. But the interesting thing too, is that when you look at your soul, your hands, the body that you're within, your soul holds a temporary imprint of your physical body. So it's going to look exactly the same, not only exactly the same, but it's going to be physical and dense. It's going to be more real than the body that you just left. And this is instantly when you experience that, there's a thing that shifts within you that instantly you realize that you live on forever and consciousness exists outside of the body.
How do you then navigate the earth as you're trying to make sense of it all?
Well, you navigate this realm in accordance to who you are on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, what this has done for me personally is really staying in integrity and unconditional love to the best of my ability at all times, because the other side is in a state of always unconditional love. And so, coming back here with also the distortions and what's playing out here,
Exactly.
to also walk that fine line, because once you wake up and once you see it, it's not always a magical experience, because you also see it all. You could say, in a sense, people really want to truly master unconditional love, but to truly master unconditional love, you would have had to experience the unlovable things.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
that makes sense.
So,
and like I said before, a lot of the texts, a lot of the religions and stuff like that have truth, a lot of truth in them. Like I said before, not all is true. It's like a little bit of truth. You give them 20% truth and then 80% lie, lead them down a path of self-sabotage, all that stuff, right? You could say the ultimate currency on the other side, even though there is no currency, but the ultimate currency of wealth is the experience and the wisdom that the soul has. So when you go through your life here in trying to figure out your purpose and what you're supposed to do, it's tuning into your intuition, the thing that people shut down, the instinct of what feels good. Because what feels good, like you said before, well, why don't I just do something that feels bad naturally? Because naturally, you're not tuning into your soul's fullest expression of who you are. Otherwise, that's why you feel different, right? So when you tune into that, you just do that, you'll start walking in a path of doing things that may not even make sense to you, but you're doing it based off your soul's integrity, walking in integrity. Yeah.
Once you exit, your thought process, who you are right now, does not change from when you're leaving. You're the same personality. You're the same person. So, yeah.
Big on the unconditional love and integrity when you do this, because the moment you step out of that, I mean, man, you're the only person that you can ever escape. And the unforgivable sin is a sin you can't forgive yourself for. So, I mean, you need to be with the understanding of who we are and who you are on the other side to make sure that you are in that state always. Yeah. The moment you start stepping out of that, I mean, you start creating your versions of hell in that aspect, right? This is also where you get, when you talk about the question that you asked, manifestation, people take it as a very passive thing of, let me just sit there and think about what I want with no action. And you've also brought up physical training as well. I'm very physically active as well myself. But that's like sitting there saying, I want to become stronger, bigger, healthier, and you just think about it on the couch and do nothing. Yeah, you could do that on the other side when you leave the body, because you could think of how you want your body to appear and it instantly changes in front of you. But in physical density, there's action applied. You need action to it. This is like I said, we're experiencing what we're not here, essentially, the extremes of all this distortions. So it's not just a thought. It's the thought and the emotion, your energy of walking it fully and completely.
And honestly, I promise every single individual that listens to this, if you believe that nothing could touch or entrap your soul, you will be 100% free. You will not see not one nefarious negative entity, or nor will it ever be able to touch you.
I feel it's very important to understand, because a lot of people are seeking truth. They're seeking a truth. And just like your soul has a spark that will create things within your life, the same with truth. There's a foundation to truth. And that's what a lot of people are seeking. And through all of this, you could say the number one truth is returning back to your home again, to remember that, because that's your divinity of where you've come from, where you will always return back to. And it is your true state. And when you remember that in love, then you could start to bring that here. And they call about heaven coming to earth. You could literally bring that here within your reality. And when you get a taste of that for the first time, it's almost like getting a taste of anything that's, I don't know, good for you or amazing. Feels good, right? When you get a taste of that, there's a desire for more. And that's what it was like for me. I want more, I want more, I want more. And I kept on pushing and I kept on pushing and I kept on accessing more. I got access to the records. I got access seeing the nature of reality, actually leaving this construct completely and viewing it from the Godhead.
Yeah. And she said, if you stay here, you could stay here, but you could go back. You're going to forget what I told you. I said, no, I'm not going to forget anything. And then, so I made the choice to come back because I was showing certain things, and it was my soul that desired to come back to make that choice.
Yeah.
Because I knew that this was very temporary in terms of the greater picture of all things.
Yeah.
And that what this adds to me and all souls, you're experiencing the unexperienced here. When you experience the unexperienced, you gain a certain perceptual wisdom that would have never been birthed unless it was experienced. You see,
this realm in particular, right? And I'm just going to say it out is, and if it goes on deaf's ears, and it doesn't really matter. At least someone will hear it. This realm was originally created to experience that which you are not. Because at the end of the day, there really is no such thing as a good or bad thing. It's just an experience. And that experience gives you a certain perceptual wisdom that could have not been birthed unless it was experienced. And so this is where we are now. This one was created to experience the opposite of that. And when you look at this, and I know this is maybe I should try to give a little bit more clarity to this too. Like, yes, unconditional love is you. It's all of us. It's the core of who we all are, because you cannot have unconditional love with a judgment. But you could also say, in order to truly understand unconditional love, you would have to have experienced the opposite of it. The cardiologist, and he says it's titled Fasting for Survival. It's a YouTube video. And what he goes into is that when you stop eating, right, in particular with fasting, right, prolonged periods of fasting, eliminating food out of your diet, your growth hormone, your genetic gene expression spikes, right? Because it's finally getting a chance to clean out all of the inflammation, all of the crap within your system, and your body's finally able to express its gene expression properly, right? We don't need as much food as what people think. I only eat like once a day, and it's pretty much what I stated. And like I said, I used to just eat fruit, but now, particularly this whole year, I've been doing that in particular with the meat and stuff, and animal fat, because my body needs it. My central nervous system needs it.
And you have the first heaven, which is this heaven, the earth heaven, which was beautiful in the past. This is where you have all of the giant trees that were once here, all the giants, everything that's talked about biblically was all here. And this is where you even get the Milky Way, is the crack within the firmament, the waters above spilling down. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were massive trees here before, massive structures here that were all destroyed. And you could say this is where you get Medusa, which is they're all putrefied. Yeah. Turned to stone.
All of the histories here. Thoughts you your thoughts never die, man. You're everything that you think right now is contained within your field. So people don't want to face themselves, and you can never escape yourself. You always have to face it, and you have to face it fearlessly, in a state of not being in fear, because nothing could touch the soul, nothing can entrap the soul unless you believe it to be so. And it's your belief in that being so will create your own self-imposed prison until you break free from the fear and you realize that you are an ultimate authority, just like every other soul, and you could honor each and every soul with their ultimate authority and their ability to create based off their will. Right? Because your soul is connected through the central nervous system, the whole meridian system. And this is where it goes into the health of the body as well, because when you're accessing information, it's not that the soul cannot maintain all that information, but when you bring it within the body, it could fry it out, just like a computer. If you download too much information all at once in the computer will start to bog down and get slow. It's the same thing with your physical body. So that's where the health is applied as well with us. But when you leave, right, it is more physical and it is more dense than having a physical body. Your soul is more physical than your physical body. And it's all the pleasures of physicality with no limitation. So when you're over on the other side, you could do as you wish, access all things, and you are still in physicality. Karma, no, there's no such thing as karma. That is a great way to put a soul into fear of constantly thinking that they are going to be looped forever for eternity, all those things, right? You need to deal with this, deal with that. There is no judgment on the other side. The very fact of karma means that there's a judgment on the other side of some form. You are the only one that judges yourself.
You know, there's no silver cord.
Like when I say home, that's stepping back into, you could say, abundance, being infinite. Like nothing is like it is here in that way of death of things. You know, it's life of things constantly. When you're over on the other side, you cannot bend another soul's will. You cannot take advantage or bend that soul's will, right? You can't do it, but here you can. See what I mean? This is the extreme. All forms of technology is pretty much a dumbed down version of that which we can naturally do. When people become too reliant, that's why I said the AI and stuff like that is a distraction. When people become too reliant on things outside of themselves, they stop focusing on themselves, right? The cells themselves and the everything they have access to. Because when you're constantly focused on something out here, you shut down the part of yourself, the natural intuition, the instincts, the call. You shut down that soul connection, right? And when you start to attune your field, your frequency, right, you will start to tap into the true nature, the true universe, who and what we really are, without using technology. But I think a lot of people have become so shut down. Their natural abilities have become so shut down. Why do you think there's so much fear here? Because fear is controlling the soul. What's the most important thing here is what they call the great work, which is waking people up to the other side. Because when they wake up to here, which is the eternal aspect of each soul, they wake up to everything, because everything's available to you when you start to wake up to the true nature of the true universe, of who you are, what we really are.